and the voice that of Rachel Willis-Sørensen, who's with me on the programme this evening, live from New York, where she stars in the title role of Richard Strauss's opera Arabella tomorrow, which is broadcast live in HD to cinemas across the UK. Rachel, let's talk a bit about Strauss's opera, premiered in 1933, and it's a great work that sometimes feels doesn't quite get the attention it deserves.
Well, I think it maybe some of Strauss's later work, seems tone deaf. I mean, 1933 was a fraught year in Europe. I don't know if this was a bit of levity to look the other direction. Pardon. But I agree. I think it's a complex story. It's shaped unconventionally. I think there was a conflict, there was a conflict between Hofmannsthal and Strauss about the central story. Hofmannsthal wanted it to be about Zdenka, played by the lovely Louise Alder. And Strauss would prefer to make it more straightforward about the princessy Arabella. So somehow she has less of a significant struggle, and she becomes engaged in the middle of Act Two. So the story could essentially wrap up there, but it turns out to be much more complex and involves more philosophical themes about the necessity of forgiveness and mutual respect in long-term relationships.
You mentioned Hofmannsthal. It was the sixth and last collaboration between Strauss and Hofmannsthal. He was a brilliant poet. He was a great crafter of language. He provided Strauss, and therefore you, with a wonderful libretto. Yeah,
and also they collaborated on Rosenkavalier, which is another piece I've done of this beautiful pairing. He actually passed away while they were working on Arabella, so Act 3 has none of Strauss's notes. He went, or I guess they're all his notes, but he didn't make any edits to Hofmannsthal's text. So that's an interesting thing that makes the story, again, shaped sort of different compared to other stories.
Now, the production is wonderfully sumptuous. It's by that great director Otto Schenk. The New York Times described it as beautiful as one could hope. The opera set in a grand hotel, but there's a slight sense, and this ties in with what you were saying about 1933, of things fading a little.
Well, I think you couldn't have a better way to experience the story. Otto Schenk, who I actually got the pleasure to meet and spend several hours with across 2 days in January 2024 in Vienna at his home. He was a brilliant actor, and he directed like we are also brilliant actors. So he has a high degree of expectation of connection to the text and of listening. And it's so artistically rewarding to do the work that way. It doesn't always happen, but I think it must be brilliant for the audience to get to see the story as essentially I think it was intended. And yes, it has this nostalgia to it, this charm and this sensation of the old Vienna, this old version of Vienna that still exists in some corners. It's a really wonderful thing to behold.
Well, it's going to look fabulous in the cinema tomorrow night. Does it change the performance for you, knowing that it's going out live around the world and people can watch it and sometimes be a bit closer up than they might be in the great space of the Met?
Well, I've done that a couple of times from ROH, and I've done things that were filmed and broadcast, but I've never done it from the Met. And I think the degree, the reach is a little bigger. I'm trying to avoid the absolute nervous collapse that's threatening to befall me as a consequence of this decision. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's such a dream come true. I guess the fraud syndrome threatens to implode me also, like, well, why are you getting to do this? But actually,
put that
why
right
not?
Back in the box. Put that right back in the box.
I was born to sing Arabella. I think it's pretty clear my throat wants to sing Arabella. I love acting the character. I speak comfortable German. I mean, there's so much in my favor. So I think ultimately I'm going to do the best I can to provide the world with this version of Arabella, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You come from Richland, which is in Washington State right. in the US. But curiously, your family is very English in this production because you've got Louise Alder as your sister, Karen Cargill as your mother, and Brenda Sherritt as your father.
It's true, and I worked with all of these wonderful singers in the UK. In fact, Brindley Sherritt and Louise Alder and I did Rosenkavalier together at Glyndebourne in 2018, so it was fun to have a Strauss reunion over here on this side of the pond.
Well, I hope you're having a fun time, and good luck with...
Oh, it's been brilliant.
Good luck with tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Give them our regards, would you?
I will, certainly.
And we're going to hear you now with Louise, because the Met have very kindly given us a little taste of your duet from Act 1 of Arabella. Rachel Willis-Sørensen, lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Rachel Willis-Sørensen as Arabella and Louise Alder as Zdenka.